Hello, confessional. This might be one of the last confessionals that I make. Basically, this rendezvous has been a nightmare. It has not gone at all well for us. Party Adam literally sucks. They just are boring, wet noodles who do not want to play the game. And at this moment, not a single one of them deserve to win. It's looking like that's going to be the case because they are afraid to make any sort of move. And yeah, Friday was just very, very frustrating. For starters, I was so close to winning immunity or exemption. So that just like sucked because it would have just been nice to have that, and then it would have just made it a little bit easier to navigate. Holly is such a annoying little snake. I want to like flick her. She literally has zero chance at winning. And Dixon, he is probably the stupidest player I've ever seen play an online game. The fact that he decided to vote with his party, it was very, very stupid, and he had all the chances in the world to let us in on the plan, and he's very, very dumb. But whatever, that's his choice. Sophia's the same way, so yeah, I just the villain side of me is coming out, and I am very much ready to make some fireworks happen at Crossroads, because it's pretty clear that tonight is going to be me or Schneidman, and then tomorrow will be the other one. Unless I can go on a exemption run and win all of them. Yeah, but I have words for everybody. I'm ready to say them. And yeah, it's just not looking too good. Yeah, I have like gone more than I can even, like, I have been searching for a compass so hard, and I just don't even know what to look for anymore or where to look. It just seems like impossible. So that's frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not feeling too optimistic about anything. So we'll see how it goes. But it just really sucks that we lost Rachel. And it sucks that I lost my compass and didn't need to use it. So I don't know. It's just, yeah. We'll see how tonight goes, but I don't have much high hopes. So I've never ever campaigned as hard in my life as I have in this game. This might be actually my last confessional. And so be it. I think that me and Steinman are getting in all of their ears. And I think that we're planting the bugs that we need to plant. Because everybody's afraid of their own little fractures that they didn't want to talk about before. If it does not work and I go, I'm at peace with it because I caused chaos and that's what I wanted to do. And if it works and I'm still here tomorrow, hallelujah. Whatever happens, I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm not stressed right now. If it's my turn to go tonight, so be it. That's what was meant to be. Yeah, I think it's funny seeing them turn into a frenzy. So we'll see what happens, but yes.
All right, this is my confessional for the first day of the rendezvous. Coming into the rendezvous, I was excited. Very nervous because we're down 7-3, but I was excited. It felt like Dixon was flippable. That was the first one. You know, after the last team challenge, he's begging me for a compass. And I'm like, dude, I'm the one going to Crossroads. So it felt like, you know, he knew he was on the bottom. Hager freaking made a list of the pecking order, so I knew Dixon was flippable. But I was also thinking, and I was like, you know, Hager has to know he's a threat. He's personable. He's charming. He's really good at these fucking challenges. So I thought, you know, supplicate myself to Hager. Dude, whatever you want. Like, these people aren't bringing you to the end. I just need a lifeline. You can get me out at any time. Use me to get some of your threats out. That felt like a good move. Then Hager didn't show up tonight. I didn't know he wasn't coming. So that threw things into a loop. But I got to talk to Sophia, and I got to talk to Dixon, and it felt like they were really on board. You know, at first Sophia was like, well, can we get out somebody from your side first? And I was like, I don't want to do that, because then I get other people to help you. I made a final 3 with Dixon and Sophia, which felt good. You know, they probably see no path to the end. That's why I made a final 3 with them, because I'm like, I'm a person promising you to get to the end. So that felt smart, because I bet you nobody else has said that to them. And I felt pretty confident. So we threw out some names, and Dixon felt bad about certain people, and it's like, dude, it's the game. So we land on Holly. Then I go back to my Team Adam people, and Holly comes wandering in. And Holly's like, I'm ready to make a move. Are you willing to do Hager? Can you get the people together to do Hager? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. I can. Of course I can make that happen. Let me just talk to Dixon. I find Dixon with Sophia. I go into that room. I know Sophia's on my side. Oh, there's one caveat. I'm going to start that section over. You're going to edit. It's okay. So I go back to my Team Adam people. And I'm like, I'm pretty certain we have Sophia and Dixon to do Holly. Then Holly comes in and says, I'm nervous. I'm worried it's going to be me tonight. I wanted to do Dixon, but now he's immune. We chat for a while. We chat around it. Turns out she's willing to do Hager. And I was like, I bet I can get Dixon. And she said, great, but don't tell him it's me. And I'm like, okay, we'll see if that's possible. So I go in to Dixon and Sophia, and I'm like, Holly's ready to vote with you. I can't just say one of you has come to us. I got to tell them who it is so they feel confident. So I say Holly. Holly's willing to vote for Hager. Dixon says, okay, great, let's just talk the two of us. Dixon jumps, and then Holly goes to talk to him, and I'm like, fuck. I didn't have a chance to tell Dixon that Holly didn't want you to know that it was her. So they talk without me. And I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good. I feel okay. I feel like we have Hager. You know, we made up a system. I'll keep rubbing my ear if we're on. I kept rubbing my ear. I thought I saw Holly rub her ear, so I'm feeling good. Then all the whispering started. And I'm like, what are we whispering about? What are we whispering about? What are we whispering about? Then the votes came out. They didn't vote Hager with us. I mean, I was already... Even after Hager played his compass, I was like, fuck. But just the fact that they didn't vote with us, it's not great. Not great, Bob. That leaves JJ and I. I mean, look, I still think the hunger for the move is out there, right? It has to be. It has to be. They can't all feel good about going to end with Hager. Come on. But I think they wanted to weaken us. I think they wanted to give us one less number. That fucking sucks. But... we're alive, baby. We're alive. Still in. As long as I'm in, still got a chance. Made it to week 3. Holly played us good. Dixon played us good. So did Sophia. But I think, you know, Sophia made a point that, like, she was worried about being outnumbered by us, by me, JJ, and Rachel. And I get that. But, Damn. Okay, so I'm filming this on my off day like a madman because I just came to the end of a wild compass hunt. So, during the first challenge of the rendezvous, there was a room that popped up that said compass clue. And it popped up while the challenge was happening. And I was one of the first people out of the challenge because I have the hand-eye coordination and finesse of a seal. And I see the clue. And the clue says, don't venture too far. It has to do with the second captain to lose Expedition Online. So I'm like, okay, Ethan's on. That's something that JJ points out to me. And so, of course, the clue says don't venture too far. And I venture eons away. I go to Facebook. I go to Instagram. I go to YouTube. I go to Twitter. I go to Reddit, which is very far from where this game is being played, which is Discord. So I'm searching all night last night. Not all night, like 30 minutes. I go this morning. I spend all day searching. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's somewhere on the Discord. I scroll down, and there's something weird next to Ethan Zahn's name. So I take a screenshot of it, and I send it into Shane. And Shane says, you're close. And so I go, okay, great. He's like, name the 5 captains. I go, great, yay! I name it. I'm going to get 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 it. And then, oh my God. He said it was gone already. Said it was gone already. I feel like I'm Expedition Online's Charlie Brown. It's all right there. It's so close. And it keeps getting pulled away from me. Oh, somebody else has it. Somebody else has it and it's not me. Oh, and I'm in such deep shit. I'm in such deep shit in this game. I was late to the advantage. My feelings are so hurt. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep fighting without this fucking advantage that I was this close to getting. I feel like I ventured thousands of miles just to get to the hole, just to get to the thing where I know it is, and I pull off the cover and it's gone. And there's a message inside the hole that just goes, meh. Oh, I feel so trolled. I feel so trolled. The agony and ecstasy of Expedition Online. Fucking A.
Right there, another freaking compass. Let's go, baby. Oh, look at that. Let's see this bad boy. Oh, compass right there. Oh, look at that. Another advantage. Oh, this makes me feel so good. Individual exemption last night. Compass on top of it. Pretty good night for me. I'll catch you guys later. Hey, what's going on there? Expedition Online. I hope everyone had a great Sunday. I know I did. I just woke up from my Sunday afternoon nap and I feel refreshed and ready to go for tonight. And I cannot wait to hear what Tina Adam has to say about leaving me out of the vote. But anyways, though, I was just making this video to express my thoughts heading into tonight and just my strategy going forward for the rest of the game. I'm hoping I win individual exemption tonight. If I don't, I luckily have those 2 advantages to fall back on, which is the compass and the shortcut. I really prefer not to use either of them, but I mean, it's kind of a high risk, high reward scenario where if I don't use it and I survive, I'm in a great spot and I look brilliant. But if I don't use them and I get voted out, I look like the biggest moron in Expedition Online. And I just think it's logical that I at least use one of them, so that's probably what I'm going to do tonight. If I lose individual exemption, is at least use one of them, because my strategy going forward that I decided on is to make it one more day. And that's kind of been my strategy overall is to make it one more day into this game, because just buying one more day in a game like this, Big Brother or Survivor, is really all you need, because a whole day can turn around something completely. And I mean completely. I mean, somebody could be voted out, and I could be in a better or I could be in a worse spot. I could be in a new alliance possibly in the next day. I might win individual exemption again. Or I might even find another advantage, which I know you guys are going to plant, and I'm dying to find that compass. But yes, that's my strategy going forward for the rest of this game, because we only have a week left, is to just make it one more day, because one more day can really be the answer, honestly, just making it one more day. So that's kind of what my strategy is. Like I said, going forward, I also want to work on my social game, though, and try to talk to as many people as I can, because we are in the jury phase of the game, and I really obviously want the jury to vote for me to win, so I'm going to have to talk to them and use my social game more, especially if I use my advantages back to back. That's all I'm going to have is my social game to rely on. So I need to be more social, I need to be more confident in myself, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this game, and I hope I can win this for Team Dixon and Team Adam. Let's go. See you guys.
Whew. Okay, so today was a doozy. Doozy. I don't know how to say that. Today was a doozy. Yeah, I'll just say it like that. Today was a doozy. Oh, I should say it in a sexy voice, like, today was a doozy. I'm kidding. Okay, these are my thoughts. Today was the first challenge for individual exemption. Dixon did great. That sucks. I do not want to play with him. He is my target. Because he came after me. Fucker. That's okay. I'll figure it out. But, okay. Kayla did great, which is wonderful. JJ did great, which is not wonderful. But totally expected, right? We expected him to do it really good. It's super funny because today's challenge was the pasta, the rigatoni onto the spaghetti that was held up with a clay ball. I did fantastic the first round, and then the second round I felt like my eyes went into someone else's body and I couldn't see anything anymore. I don't know if it was like a combination of the fact that like my noodles were full of spit or what, because I did not do good the second round. Holy cow, like I dropped like 4 or 5 of my rigatoni noodles. Oh my gosh, that was horrific, but oh so funny. I mean, I didn't need to win. I didn't feel like I needed to win, but it's okay. Dixon won. So we'll see what happens, right? So let's see what happened tonight at Tribal. So I mean at the camp. At the camp, lots of discussion. I mean, I think I've shared with you guys like so many times, like hierarchically, right? Meredith, myself, Kayla, and Matthew are like who he'd like to play with. Hagar is like right next, like he's next on that next list, and then Sophia, and then Dixon, potentially? No. And then we've got the 3 people from Team Wendell who JJ threw me under the bus because he was mad because he actually did say Shannon's name. Maybe he didn't say it the way that he said it, but then I've got Schneidman who threw me under the bus telling people about my advantage that I wasn't like able to like find. Like I didn't tell anybody how I found that advantage. And then the third thing is Rachel. I think I shared with you guys earlier, like she is just such a good, amazing, like gets you to like think about stuff, and like I don't need anyone thinking about nothing in this game. So I think that for me, Dixon winning was awful. I would have loved to have made a move against Dixon tonight, but it's too soon, right? It's just too soon. The 3 Team Wendell people definitely made a good pitch, but I know that, okay, fine, we survived tonight. We don't survive tomorrow because there's still 10 people, right? And then when there's 4, And 5, you don't win. And Dixon wasn't on board with voting Hager, which I was also not on board with voting Hager, but I did what I had to do. I convinced them that Hager was vote. That's what I did. That's what I was supposed to do, and that's what I did. So anyway, I did my job, and I think that Meredith and I didn't get an opportunity to chat, and she said, play the extra vote, and I was like, okay, because I want her to trust me, because I trust her, but I also didn't want to risk, not having the extra vote, and then going home because I didn't play it by, a vote of just 1. So there's that. So that was my thought process, I think, at least into tonight. Tonight was rough because I really had an opportunity to potentially make a move, but not against the person that they wanted to make the move against, right? Especially since Hager dropped the bomb and told us that he had an idol. Like, that was brilliant. But I don't know if they're going to show it or not, but hi, Backpedal, that's my middle name. So I started to say something when I was in the chat at the fire or at the volcano or something with Team Wendell, because I was like, oh yeah, I totally know that, Dixon voted for me. And they were like, oh, we thought he voted for Deshawn. And then I started laughing because I was like, shit, what if they turn this around and they're like, ooh, Dixon's with, against Holly and we want to take Holly out. I was like, so backpedal is what started. I don't know that I did a great job, but it worked because they ended up voting for Hager, which is exactly what, I wanted them to do. So, whew, thank goodness. And Dixon is the only one I think that voted for JJ. So it was either 1 or 2. I don't remember who it was, but how many there was, because, we don't have a vote tally or vote count after, but I'm definitely excited that potentially I now have another nail in Dixon's coffin. JJ can stay around for a little bit longer because if he doesn't win immunity, he'll be in the top couple, but Schneidman, again, he's not a huge big threat. So for me, the next person to go, at least in my opinion, should be Sophia or Dixon, because this is why. This is my reasoning. Schneidman and JJ are by themselves. And if the 4 of us stay strong, that's 4, 2, 3, right? Because then Sophia, Dixon, and Hager are together. If Hager, but I don't think Hager's going to go against Kayla or me or Meredith or Matt. Especially when I tell him that Dixon was willing to vote for him if that's what I wanted, because he didn't know that Hager had an idol. So that's exciting. So that's intel that I didn't have, before. So I really almost at this moment in my life feel like it's Meredith, me, Hager, Matthew, Kayla, Meredith, me, Hager, Kayla, Matthew. Oh, that's 5. Ugh, I'm such a dork. And then we've got JJ and, oh my goodness, what the hell? Schneidman. That's 7. And then the last 2 are Sophia and Dixon. If the 4 of them get together and we take out somebody that's not one of the 4 of them, then they're going to get together and be like, ooh, we should make a move now. I do believe that the 4, me, Matthew, Kayla, and Meredith are together, and don't feel like any of the 4 of us will turn on each other, but I've been blindsided by very good friends before, so there's no telling, right? Anyway, having said all that, it was my job to get them to vote Hager. I did it. Smooth sailing. They probably won't ever trust me again, but this is my plan. I'm going to just tell them that somebody pulled me into the room and just told me that he had an idol at the last second, and that's what I'm going to do, because that's the only way I'm going to keep myself safe. But maybe I should have told them that he had an idol, but the thing is if I would have told them, I would think they would have come after me, and I didn't know that we had numbers to pull anything else off, right? So had to keep it the same. That's what I'm going to tell him. That's what I'm going to stick with. I'm so excited that tomorrow's a day off. I need a break. I just need a moment to recoup, get myself back in the game. School's been hard this week. I had 2 exams. I have a pretty gnarly big ass homework assignment due on Monday and a pretty big project due this week. So I'm really going to take tomorrow and like focus on getting all of my schoolwork done, and not thinking about the game too much because there's nothing we can do till Sunday. Having said that, I hope you guys have a great night. I'm excited to be here. Final 9, hopefully with a plan to final 4. And other than Kayla, I think I can probably beat the other 3 in that 4. So other 2, because Kayla is going to kick my ass. She's great. Really, really great. Okay. With that, good night. Ciao. Getting ready for this next exemption challenge. Team Adam, go! All right, we just got our like list of shit we need to have for today's challenge, and Jess, I can't even like begin to get in your heads to be like, why do we need a wall and 6 feet of floor space? We're gonna have us doing some like burpee shit, or like I was trying to like Google like what kind of stuff do they do in Italy, but like nothing is coming out. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes out and is like, these are the things you need to do while visiting Vesuvius, but none of them are things I can connect to like building a tower or building a crosswalk or any of that stuff. You have such an amazing brain. So I don't have any idea. In my mind, I envision us like doing a wall sit into a push-up, doing a wall sit into a push-up, reenacting like the ash part of like the carnage that came when the volcano erupted. Like I don't even know how to prepare for it. So silly. Anyway, all right, I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts about today. Today's going to be rough. I think, I feel like today is the day to make a move. If Dixon doesn't win, that's who I'm voting for. If Dixon does win, I'm going to try to get after Sophia. I feel like we have the numbers to comfortably get rid of one of the 2 of them, because I really don't care at the end of the day if one of the 4 goes home, but I don't want Dixon and Sophia and Schneidman or JJ to like stay together. So that's my goal. My goal today is to get rid of one of them. That's my goal. There's 9 people left, right? So it's me, Matt, Hager, Meredith, Kayla. Me, Matt, Hager, Meredith, Kayla. Kayla, Meredith, Hager, Matt, me. That's 5. Sorry, I had to double count. That's 5. If the 5 of us stick together, which I hope that we can, right? Because in my mind, at least, like I did exactly what Hager asked. I used his name to get them to vote for him. That's that. Hindsight, though, I should have fucking voted for Hager. I should have voted for Hager. So that the 3 dopey-de-dope-dopes thought I was with them. And then at least that way, I could have, like, had a play moving forward. But I wasn't smart. I didn't think it through. And I think also Meredith's telling me to play the extra vote was a little bit wonky to me, just because I was afraid that it was me. And I was afraid if I did go to Hager, I knew that those votes were going to be negated and didn't count. So my thoughts. I feel really shitty just because they did vote with me last time, or like they wanted to vote with me, and I was too paranoid. I thought it was going to be them coming after me. I think Schneidman just, he said my name too early. He said it, and then I heard about it, and I just got scared. So anyway, that's my plan tonight. I don't know if I have a shot at winning. Kayla's like super fast, and so is JJ. Two of them can't win everything though, so. Oh, so is Dixon. Ugh, the three of them can't win everything. One of the three of them can like win and not go. So as long as it's Kayla, that's what I'm rooting for. If it's not me, then I'd like it to be, well, one of the five, right? Kayla, Matt, Hager, or Meredith. Why am I having such a hard time? I want to say Merida, and I know it's not Merida. Part of me is secretly hoping Hager wins, because I just feel like Adam and him could have such a great conversation about his video. But then I'm like, fuck that guy. I want to win. I want Adam to look at my video. So we'll see. Anyway, I hope that everyone is having a great day, and I will see you guys at this crazy ass wall plus 6 feet of floor space in front of the wall challenge in a couple hours. Ciao. This is the face I give my kids when I don't understand what they're saying. Like, oh, I left my AirPods in the locker room unattended and someone stole them. Can we get more? I'm like, because what do you think the answer to that is? The answer is no. I'm not buying you another pair of AirPods because you left your shit unattended and they got stolen. This is my face when I have to put tape on the wall at hip level. Like, what? What?
Okay, this is my confessional for Expedition Online Season 4. So we had the rendezvous and we had our first vote after the rendezvous, and I think it went pretty well. I did play pretty messy, so I'm a little bit concerned about my discretions coming back to bite me, but only time will tell. My biggest issue still continues to be Dixon. I kind of went aggressive on him, and I wanted him to know that I'm willing to flip with him if that's what he wants to do. Now, I was convinced after days and days and days of not talking to my party at all that he would 100% be flipping. And even when he said over and over again that he wasn't flipping, I didn't believe him. So I wanted to get on his good side. If he did flip, I didn't want my name thrown out there. Turns out he literally didn't want to flip this whole time. Maybe, I don't know. I still have such a bad read on Dixon. He's just so difficult for me. One thing that I wholeheartedly regret telling him that I think could be really, really bad for me is that I told him that Holly said that we need to watch him and Sophia together. And I guess Dixon thought this whole time that we voted him out because we knew he had the idol that he could only play one time, which is ludicrous to me because I didn't know that. I don't think Matthew knew that. I don't think Meredith knew that. I fully don't know the story, and unfortunately, if I had more information, maybe I would have handled all this differently, but I didn't. And so I had to go off of what I knew. So I told him that, hoping that it would bond us together, and now I'm regretting it because he was blindsided again for the second time by his entire tribe because he was the only one who voted JJ. And now he has ammunition against me. Desperate people do desperate things. So I'm very worried. You know, if this comes back to bite me, I think that I played a really good game for not being too experienced. But I'm hoping that, I just have to hope that maybe the Holly Dixon relationship is so bad because he voted for her that it just never gets found out. And I just can only hope. I just wish that I had just told Sophia, because I do trust Sophia. I was just a little bit panicky because it's so chaotic, and that was not even something that really had to do with that vote. So I needed to solidify something quickly. And I didn't think Sophia and I would get into a room together, just her and I, because it's really hard to talk to the people you want to talk to when you want to, with a certain amount of privacy. So I told them together, and I regret it, but it is what it is. We move. I guess my other concern is that I was told that the four majority in the Adam group is me, Matthew, Meredith, Holly, which is news to me because I thought that Sophia was in this group the whole time. So that's really, really bad for me because I think that means I'm fourth. So I'm eventually going to have to do something about this. Problem is that I don't really trust anybody else outside of that 5. So if I do something, I'm going to have to really put the fate of my game into hands of people that I don't trust. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to navigate that situation yet. I do know that Meredith told me that she had the steal a vote, which is great because I've been freaking out about the steal a vote. And that's ammunition that I might need to use later. So I don't really know how I'm going to navigate all these problems that I have in the game right now. I don't know if stuff's going to come back to bite me, but I'm going to continue to do my best, and we'll see what happens. Thank you.
Now this is what I call a celebration peanut butter and jelly. Now that was a crossroads. Sorry, you don't want to hear me chew. Let's get right into it. So, today's challenge I was really bad at. And to be completely transparent, going into it, I was like, I don't really think I'm going to try too hard because I know that I'm not going to be the fastest. Like, I was practicing and I was like, yeah, there's no way. So I kind of just conceded at the beginning because I want to build a target and seem like a challenge threat. So there was that. And then we got to the strategizing, and it was very awkward at first because we were in the base camp room with Team Wendell, Schneidman, and JJ, and Rachel. And last time we were trying to vote out Rachel, but then we had to vote our own, that whole thing. So the plan today was to vote out Rachel, and because we didn't really trust Dixon, we made sure to give him a fake name. So right now, Kayla, Meredith, Holly, and I are a core 4. And then Sophia's like our 5th. And Dixon, he's still Team Adam, but we don't really trust him. And he doesn't have a reason to trust us because we unanimously voted him out. So there was that. So we didn't trust Dixon. We gave him the fake name of JJ in the hopes that if they have a compass, they would end up playing it on JJ. And that we could get one of them out, and that is exactly what happened. JJ ended up playing his compass on himself, and we were able to vote out Rachel. We did have to use our extra vote just to be extra safe, but I think it was a good move. And it seems like a few feathers were ruffled during the crossroads. I mentioned that there was a little bit of intermingling between teams. They didn't seem to like that I said that because I didn't do any of the intermingling, but that doesn't change the fact that Dixon was intermingling with him the whole time, and he was working with him, and he was telling them that it was JJ because that's what we were telling Dixon, and they knew it was JJ because of Dixon, and Rachel got voted out because of that whole situation. And so I guess there was just a little bit of truth as to what I was saying, and they didn't like that I was saying it out in the open with such confidence like that, but I didn't really have anything to hide. And then they're like, don't you think that matters because of the jury and stuff? And I'm like, it does. And I'll own up to my mistakes. Like, I know I didn't intermingle with you, and I'll say that. And we'll move forward. I'm doing what's best for my game, to keep moving and to not get eliminated. And so they can love it or hate it, whatever. We ended up winning the vote tonight, and that is huge going forward. Yeah, feeling pretty good. The whisper room does come in handy because you can kind of see who pulls who into the whisper room, and you kind of see who was like talking strategy last minute. And if someone pulls one of your close allies in there, you can pull them back and like, oh, what did so-and-so say to you? And so yeah, the whisper room has been coming in really handy. Tonight was a beautiful vote. It ended up, yeah, it was just great. I'm in a good mood. We're gonna have a good Friday night, have a couple drinks, you know, celebrate a bit. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you.
Okay, day 9 Expedition Online's in the books. I'm still here. I haven't embarrassed myself as far as I'm aware. Still my steal a vote advantage, and I made it past the merge boot. I guess the rendezvous boot. I made it past the rendezvous boot. So the day started off with a challenge. It was threading rigatoni onto spaghetti, stuck vertically in Play-Doh using our mouths. Jess, I don't know where you come up with these, but they're amazing. So that was really fun. I didn't do that well. I came in, I think, 6th out of everybody. But the final 3 were JJ, Dixon, and Kayla. I was rooting for Kayla. She's a member of my alliance, and I wanted everybody else to kind of be on the table as an option to vote out. But Kayla did not end up winning. Dixon did. At least that left the team, all of the Team Wendell folks on the table as options to vote out and to spread suspicion across, I guess. So we get back to camp, and immediately Dixon asks Sophia to go into a whisper or a secret room with him. He chooses a room with 4 spots in it, and so I'm like, well, I'm gonna fucking follow too if you're just gonna go into a public room. So I go in, and Sophia isn't even able to make it into the room because Matthew, Kayla, and I all get into the room. And we find out that there was a compass room that opened up during the exemption challenge that I did not see at all, that Sophia and Dixon got into, and so they got a clue. Dixon is putting on this dramatic show of how he hasn't found the answer yet. He's like flopping around and yelling and being super dramatic, which just makes me feel like maybe he already found it. He's just like playing it up. He keeps saying he's like, oh well, we're in this together. I don't care if you know I have a clue because we're in this together. We're in it as a team, which just makes me feel like we're not in it as a team. That like it's just like too much assurance unnecessarily. That makes me feel like he's not really on our side. But so eventually Dixon leaves. Sophia comes in. She discloses the clue that Dixon wouldn't tell us. Or at least she tells us a clue. I don't know if it's the clue. She could have changed any number of words in it and made it slightly different, so it's not the real clue. I wasn't able to write it all down. I don't know if Matthew maybe was, because he was also in the room. But there's about 4 or 5 of us that know the clue, and that's it. And I think they're all Team Adam, so at least there's that. I later find out that there's another clue, that if Adam had mentioned a shortcut in his merge video, and if you messaged Shane about a shortcut, he would give you a clue. So I'm looking for that one. I've looked through everything I can find for these 2 clues. I've gone through literally every single photo on Ethan Zahn's Instagram trying to find it, looking at all the most recent comments. I ended up finding an advantage for EO season 2. I sent it to Shane as a joke, and he kindly informed me that I could have the advantage, but only if I found Erica's hourglass from season 41. And like, Jonathan's not willy-nilly handing out hourglasses, so I don't think I'm gonna get anything from that. But still looking for those. And then as we go around to the different rooms, I talked to Holly, and she tells me that Hager had stopped in and said that he was going to play his compass and try to get all the other team's votes onto Hager. So that's an interesting move. Nobody knew that he had this compass, so it's interesting that he would want to blow it in this way. But I took it as, okay, that's information, and moving on. We kind of decided as a tribe, I was pushing for Rachel, but we kind of decided as a tribe that Rachel should be the vote. I think she's the biggest strategic threat. I mean, based on her social media, she's a really cool girl. I think we'd really get along. We have a lot of similar interests. But as a competitor in this game, you gotta go. I'm sorry. She seems really cool, but you gotta go. So the votes were going to be put on Rachel, with Schneidman or JJ being a decoy vote. And it was kind of going back and forth between the two. I knew that Dixon thought that the decoy vote was JJ and the real vote was Schneidman. Or no, vice versa. The decoy vote was Schneidman and the real vote was JJ. So we were really scared that Dixon was going to flip to the other team or the other party, and that he could possibly bring Sophia with them. And we knew that there was a possibility that the other team had a compass, that they may play on any one of their team members, and that Schneidman had an extra vote, and there could be any other number of advantages on their tribe that we just didn't know about. So we finally get to Crossroads, and after a little bit of lackluster responses to Jonathan's questions, sorry Jonathan, we're trying to be cryptic and hold things back, but after some lackluster responses, there was a lot of whisper room activity. I pulled Holly in to tell her that because if Schneidman played his extra vote, the extra votes would count on a recount, and if Sophia and Dixon both flipped to the other tribe, it would be 5-5, and then we would need that extra vote of Holly's in order to break that tie. So I told her to play the extra vote. It was something that we had all talked about, kind of making sure that she knew that she should play it. So at least it wasn't my idea, because it turned out to be wrong. But so then I come out of that whisper room, and Sophia asked me to go into a whisper room right away. And she tells me that she's being told that Holly is siding with the other tribe and she's going to vote for Hager. And I knew that Holly knew that Hager had a compass, so that if that was something, it must have been a lie on Holly's part. And so I kind of just told Sophia, I think she's just saying that to go along with them, to placate them. So I get out of that whisper room, and then Dixon asked me to go into a whisper room. I'm popular girl at the prom, right, Jonathan? Jonathan was saying that we all kind of react like, it was me? It's me to be chosen to go into a whisper room. But so popular girl at the prom, I got to, Dixon asked me to go in the whisper room, and we chatted, and he asked me straight out who the real vote was. And we had kind of talked about maybe not telling Dixon, especially because remembering that there's whisper rooms, he could easily tell the other party who the real vote is on. They could use their compass, play it on that person, and just have everybody be safe and flip everything around. So out of fear of that, I did not tell Dixon the true answer. He asked me who it was. I said it was JJ. So now I have to try to figure out how to handle that lie. If there's two options, I either tell Dixon, honestly, like, we weren't sure, I wasn't sure where you stood and if you were going to betray us and where you felt with the other tribe, so this is a good test of your loyalty. Congratulations, you passed, you're amazing, you've passed our test of loyalty and now we can trust you. No, I don't trust him, but that's what I would tell him. Or option B, a little more dangerous, I could just gaslight the fuck out of him and just be like, wait, no, I didn't tell you, Rachel. What are you talking about? You asked me who's the real vote. Is it JJ? And I said, JJ? No, it's Rachel. And like, I don't know if maybe the mods, it was a little chaotic in there. Like people were yelling. Like maybe you didn't hear me, or maybe I misspoke. I don't know. But I said it was Rachel. I don't know. Maybe just gaslight him. I feel like that's a little dangerous because he did vote for JJ. But it ended up being good. So still have to figure out how to handle that. But Dixon ended up voting for JJ. JJ was scared enough by our talk about how challenge beasts are threatening, and he came in second in the challenge, and that could be threatening, blah, blah, blah. He was threatened enough by that to play his compass. So we flushed that compass. Hager played his compass and nullified all the votes against him that Team Wendell put against him. And then we ended up voting out Rachel. Everybody else sided together other than Dixon because he had the wrong information. We got to told him the wrong information. So that's kind of where we stand now. I did tell Matthew, Kayla, and Holly that I have a steal a vote. It was causing a lot of anxiety, and I was afraid somebody was going to make a rash, dumb decision because they were scared of the steal a vote. So I did tell my core alliance about the steal a vote. I really wanted to keep it secret, but it felt like a bigger risk to not say anything than to say anything. So hopefully they keep it to themselves and we can use it to our advantage at some point down the line when we need to. But maybe they'll screw me somehow as a result. We'll see. Yeah, that's where we stand. Rachel's gone. I'm still here. Our party still has 7. The other party has 2 now at the rendezvous. So hopefully this is pretty straightforward and Steinman or JJ don't win out or win several and we have to cannibalize ourselves earlier than we'd like, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks.
All right, first official full night of the rendezvous. And it did not disappoint in terms of bringing the heat because even with things going the way that I wanted them to go, it was stress. It was stressful. So came in tonight. Honestly, I was hoping to cinch that challenge win. I couldn't quite pull it out. Couldn't even get to the final round, but you know, moving little pieces of rigatoni on top of spaghetti and stacking pillars is not something I necessarily practice, so I can't be too hard on myself. I am glad that Dixon won, though. If I was not to win, that was a really good win for my game for Dixon, because Dixon is somebody who, if he's not protected, he's going to be more erratic. He is going to be afraid that everybody's gunning for him, even if they're not. And there's a good chance that they will be. So I'm glad that he could feel secure and actually ended up voting the way that I told him to vote, which was for JJ, which was not the majority of votes, but I'll get to that. So I feel like I was able to relay a lot of information in a way that explained why I'm doing certain things and also explained how I'm still on certain people's teams, even when it seems like I'm working counterintuitively against them. So in terms of Dixon, tonight I finally got the opportunity after like 3 nights to tell Dixon, I only voted for you because I knew from Hager that you had a compass and you were going to play it. I knew you were going to be safe. I maybe should have waited a little bit longer to tell him, not in front of Matthew, and I think Meredith was also there, but I just, I couldn't wait. And I was able to clear the air with Matthew later on. I was also able to loop Kayla into that plan too. I don't think Dixon remembers that I talked to Kayla before I talked to Hager and learned about his compass in the whisper room at that one crossroads. So I was able to also pull Kayla in as somebody Dixon can trust, even though we both actually voted for Dixon. But pull Kayla into the narrative that we both knew he had a compass that he was going to play so we can keep working with him, which I think we both genuinely do want to keep working with him, even though we voted for him previously. I was able to tell Kayla about how I helped save Holly on that same vote by telling her to throw, confirming her idea of, should I throw a name on Deshawn? Yes, I said definitely throw a name on Deshawn, and that's what ended up saving her. So I am glad that at least somebody else knows that I'm the one who did that too. I think I've got more game to play with Holly, and I want to make sure that we are able to talk about that situation as well. We weren't able to talk about that tonight. I actually definitely want to connect with Matthew, Holly, and Meredith one-on-one moving forward. I'm a little bit worried that we're not getting enough time together, but tonight I feel like I had great connections with Schneidman, Dixon, Kayla, who else? Well, pretty good with Matthew and Meredith, I guess. I knew that I really did not want to work with Rachel or JJ. Rachel, JJ, and Schneidman, all, you can tell that they're playing this game hard and they're playing this game manipulatively. And I really stumbled over that word, but I'm not going back. But, you know, they're the last 3 in their party of however many we started with, 9, I think. So they're obviously playing the game well, and that's scary alone. And it's scarier the more even that these parties get. So I knew that we had to take one of their own out, even if next crossroads I might diverge from that. Honestly, for me, person to go tonight was Rachel, and Rachel went. And I can put that as a win in my book, because I do not think I was going to be able to trust Rachel. I don't think she was going to trust me. So that means I can't work with her. Next up to bat for me for voting out would be JJ, because I also have not said pretty much a lick of a word to him in any real capacity other than small talk. And at the same point, he hasn't tried to reach out to me to talk to me in that way. So that makes him an enemy in my book. Schneidman, I only believe half of what he's telling me, but I think that he's desperate enough to return to this bridge that I just burnt with him tonight and work with me and Dixon moving forward. I'm really going to have to keep a close eye on Hager as he comes back into the game, tell him that I was really advocating for him tonight. I really didn't want him to go, and I want him to know that, and I want him to trust me and work with me moving forward, because I think a lot of people will be gunning for him, and I want to make sure that he sees me as a #1 ally instead of as somebody he has to get out. My only concern for tonight was that I perhaps revealed too much of how I am playing this game. I really came in full force, and I'm afraid that other people notice that. I am just hoping that enough people think that I am going full force on their side, not against them. But that's going to get harder and harder as it, dwindles down in numbers. But I'm revved up and ready to go.